Actually, Karthik, I remember you said like you do support also, right?
Yes, okay. Let's get started here. All right. So now, as a part of the development, we'll get a chance to do the hands-on that whatever we are doing.
Yeah, I've tried this S object.
Okay. Open it and show me what is the issue that you have. Let's do something with that, and then I'll take a class. It doesn't. I really want to help you, man. So show me what is the issue. That you said that you are going to send me the details. I never got anything on the last class.
That issue I've resolved it.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So you don't have any other issues now?
I have an issue with like I just have a doubt. In the previous class of S object, I tried to insert the phone number in this thing, but I don't know how to use the string of it. Like for number we are using integer, right?
Right. For number we are using integer, yeah. But phone you can just insert it as a string.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, the phone you can insert it as a string. I even showed you a demo of inserting the phone number also, right?
Yeah, but we have we just mentioned it, but we did not declare the variable.
You can declare it as a string. That should work technically.
Okay.
You can declare it as a string. Okay.
I just declared it as a phone. No?
Mm-hmm. No, not phone as a phone is not going to work. You can declare it as a string. Okay. The programming language, it's all about the string.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, so we have in the last class we also saw like how to do the bulk upload, right? Bulk insert, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we already printed the ID also. We were able to print the ID also. Okay. So we know like we already printed the ID, and we also learned about the next DML statement, which is an update. Now you know how the insert works, and also like how the update works, correct?
Yeah.
So the next thing is like how do we even delete the record? Okay. So what are we have been talking about the DML operations. DML is nothing but the data manipulation language, right? So what are the various DML operations that we are learning here is create, which means that we can insert, update, and delete. Okay. The next thing that we're going to talk about is today's day 5. It's about the delete. So okay. So in order to delete a record, you need to, how do you delete? Like for example, when you want to delete something, you need to identify which record that you are going to delete, right? So you need to know, I mean, you cannot go and just delete something. You need to know which record that you are going to delete. Only then you will be able to delete it, right? So in order to get what is the record that you are going to delete, you need to write this query. You need to write the query, right? Basically to fetch the records. The queries are used to fetch the records. Okay. What the fetch is nothing but to retrieve the records. To retrieve the records from Salesforce database. To retrieve the records from the Salesforce database. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the query language. So in Salesforce, we have a query language called SOQL. Okay. The SOQL is nothing but Salesforce Object Query Language. So you're going to retrieve from the object. Okay. Salesforce Object Query Language. Salesforce Object Query Language. Okay, that's called SOQL. Right. So you like, I don't know if you have experience with the any other database. What are the databases that we are aware of? We know what is Oracle. We know what is MySQL, and we know like where MySQL or MS SQL, Microsoft SQL Server. So there are the various databases that we know, right?
Yeah.
So we can write the SQL statement, SQL query language. Okay. System query language. That's what the SQL mean for. Here it is called SOQL. SOQL. They call it as SOQL, Salesforce Object Query Language. So you cannot do insert or anything in the SOQL. You can only fetch the data, because for why do you need to do the insert through the query? They don't give access to the database. Okay, you don't know how the database is visible. It's all shared resources for the Salesforce, and it is hosted in the cloud, right? You cannot see the database because it's shared. Because if you have your own account and if I have an account, everything will be in the same database, but you will not be able to see my data and I will not be able to see your data. Remember, we talked about the uh, Apex functionalities initially. What is Apex, right?
Yeah.
We can only do the select. So we can only perform the select query. We cannot do anything else. We can only perform the select queries. Okay. So you do the query. What is that the select will give you? Select will give you some records, right? Once you get the records, you can process that records. Like, you can delete the records or you can update those records. You can do whatever you want, right? Now we are talking about the delete. Okay, before that, we are going to touch base. What is SOQL and how does the SOQL works in the Salesforce?
Okay.
Okay. Now we're able to understand SOQL. I'm going to show you, how the SOQL can be performed. Excuse me, and where it can be performed and how you can execute the query and all that. Okay. So in order to read the record from Salesforce, you need to write the query, right? So that's what they provide, a object query language, SOQL. It's in short. Okay. You can also include your SOQL query in your Apex code. Apex class, you can even include that. We'll also see it how it can be included in the code. Okay. As we progress, we'll also see that. Okay. So let's take an example, like how do we write a query, simple query. Okay. So to retrieve all the accounts, how can we do that? Okay. Like for example, you need to write a select query. This will be useful for your development. Select query. Okay. So let me log into the Salesforce here. Login.salesforce.com. And we're getting into the developer mode. So we know that how to get to the developer console. Okay. And in the developer console, you see a tab called query editor, right?
Okay.
This is where you can go and write SOSL or SOQL. We'll also talk about SOSL in the next class. Okay. You can either write a SOQL query or you can write because in the interview, they might ask hey, can you write the query for SOQL? How do you write the query for the SOQL? Or what is SOQL? They will ask. Okay. So SOSL is nothing but the search language. We'll talk about it in a bit, in the next class. Okay. So when I'm talking about query, before you write any query and then try to execute, it is a best practice to write the query here to make sure that your query is working perfectly. Then you can include that query in your code, Apex code. Okay.
Okay.
Like simple select. You cannot use star. Okay, there will be another interview question or the the developer certification exam. Star. You cannot use star. You have to specify only the field names. From the account, what I can remember is all the fields like name or phone from account. So if you see here, this is your object. You know what is object now, right? These are the fields. So simple, select fields from account. Okay, here is where you can use the execute. Once you execute, so you see here, it gives all the name, phone, and that's all it gives. Like say for example, if you want to get like one more record, you can even go and see. Okay, let's go to the object manager for a second, and you can read. You can get the fields from any object. It doesn't really matter account. You can go and get it from any object that you want. Okay, so we are talking about the account here. Let's click on the account, fields and relationships. Okay, like say for example, if you want the description and facts or industry. Okay, description, employees, facts, industry, facts, description, industry, whatever you want to do. Then you can put the field, and then you see here, it added the facts, it added the descriptions, it added the industry or everything.
Okay.
And this is how now you know what is SOQL. It can only perform the object query language. You can only perform the select statement. And in the developer tool, how can you go and execute the query? Now you know how to write the query. You can execute the query using the query editor. Okay, you can even you can save your results, whatever it's coming in, or if you want to even see here, like if you want to create new, it knows that you are on the. It's so cool. The Salesforce is providing very cool feature. You can even create a new record, new account. Or if you want to edit this page, you can even click on the edit. Okay, so what you need to do is you can even do the ID here. Sorry, I told you, right? Every record will have the ID. You see here, this is 0011, right? Remember when I don't have the ID, it was not able to open it, throw an error. Like previously, I had just name. This is what I had. Okay, Salesforce is smart. So there could be multiple United Oil and Gas corporations in the account. There could be multiple gene points. So how does it know? It need to know the unique ID to open the page. So if you go and create and edit this page, it tells cannot open edit page. If the ID column is not included in the target list, right? Yeah. So what you need to do, you have to just go and add the ID. I told you already, every single record in the Salesforce is identified by the ID. So I go here and execute, and you see here, and when I click on this ID, you can click on edit, and you can even see the edit page. So now we learned what is SOQL, what is query editor, how can you execute the query, and as a result of this, you can even create now this, that you're writing the query for the account page, and then you can even create a new account. Okay, so they are providing the intuitive UI where you can do everything with related to this. You can open the detail page directly. Like when you select this and open the detail page, it's not going to be in the edit screen. It's going to be in the detail page of this. Right? Okay. So, any questions so far?
No.
Okay. So now we are going to do okay, so how can we go on delete? We already know the insert, right? How can we go on delete? Okay. So let's say for an example, I go here and select like Salesforce or Google. So I have only one name with the Google, right? I don't have anything else. Like Toys R Us as an example. Toys R Us. I have only one Toys R Us, right? So select ID name from account. This is a condition. You have to use the condition. If you want to filter further, you have to use the condition, like where condition, where name equal to in Salesforce, always string has to be represented in the single quotes, right? So choice are as. So remember, you want to delete this record. First, you can execute and see, oh, okay, it's bringing the records, right? Our job is we need to delete this.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So, for example, if you want to write it in the Apex class, like, how can you write it as an Apex class? Like I can even write, like, you can even write it using the debug statement. You can even write it in the anonymous window, or you can even write it in the. So this is what we wrote. Let me make sure if I save this. Oh, I think we already saved this, right? Okay. I'm going to delete this. Okay. Either you can do it outside here without the class, or you can even access the class and then you can do it. Let's go to the class. For example, new Apex class, and I'm going to create simple like DML class. Okay. Public static void delete account. Okay. I'm going to write a delete query inside the Apex. Like I'm going to inject the SQL query in the SOQL query in the Apex. Like, for example, you want to delete from the account, right? You can copy you already know this is a query you're going to write, right? You can copy the code here. Okay. Whenever you want to, even you want to write it in the query editor, you can write the query like this. But when you want to execute your query in the Apex, you have to always represent this by bracket, square bracket. Okay. This is how you can execute. They will say, like, hey, can you write a SQL query? Write a simple statement to query the data from account. They will say, like, while writing like the coding practice or coding exercise, they will give. Just create a simple class and then write a method to delete one of the record. That's all they will say in the interview. So one thing to understand, now you know what is SOQL, what is query editor. And when they even say, like, hey, what are the best practices that you have followed as part of developer, you can tell, like, hey, I always execute my query editor to make sure that query looks okay before I use them or inject them into the Apex class. Right. So here, always the statement will be ended by the semicolon. And then this is the statement I'm writing. What is it going to return? It is going to give me the object, right? What object it is going to give? It's going to give me the account object because you're getting it from the account object, right? I can even, it can even be, there could be multiple name with Toys R Us, right? Not just one. So it's always safe, like, you can even put it in the array. It doesn't really matter. Or this is the account class, and you need to save it in the, declare it in the variable, right? Like this is the account delete. So you are storing that object in the account delete. This is an object. Okay. And then you're saying, like, delete. This is the object that has the record, right? That's it. Same way how you do insert. You used to do the insert object, right? Insert space object. Same thing. If you want to have a delete, it's like delete and then the object name. Okay. So how, let me save it here to make sure that this does not have any problem or any compilation error. You see here, so we're able to follow this.
Yeah, can you just tell me from here, account delete thing, amount, account delete.
Yeah, so this is the query that you're going to execute, right?
Yeah.
It will always give the object. See here, when you execute this, what does it give? What is this? This is basically the object, right? What type of object is this?
Account.
So you want to save this object somewhere. That is why you are writing save this into the object. This is the object, right? Account object. You cannot, system doesn't know what is acct delete. You have to create an object from the class. Remember first class I told you what is class, what is object.
Yeah.
You create a dummy object or the empty object from the account, and then, like for example, something like this, integer I. So I will be null, and then you are saying like I equal to 10, right? You're storing the 10 to the I. Now what is the value of I? 10. Now you are just declaring the object, and then you are bringing the query result is going to give the object, and then you are putting that into the object here directly. So instead of 2 lines of this code, what I'm writing is integer I equal to 10. If it is integer, I'm just declaring the variable. What type of, this is the data type, and I equal to 10. So you remember, this is the 10 is the value, and here is the value that is coming in. You need to store it as an I. I is nothing but an object, S object. What type of S object it's going to save? Account. This is what exactly I wrote. So the reason I put the array is like, there could be a possibility of more than one. So even if it is one, that's fine. Even if it is multiple also, this will handle, because it's an array. It's an array object. Does it make sense? If you see my coding in the past, like you see here, how are we doing the bulk operations? Here is the list, right? We create a list and then do the insert list, right?
Yeah.
The same thing, like, you can even do the bulk list, or even you can do the one, whatever it's stored in the object, you can delete it. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Any question?
No.
So this is nothing but an S object. What type of S object is it? It's an account S object. And then we are creating the object. Then we are saving the object with the query. So you know what is SOQL now, how you can use the query editor, how to execute it. And this is going to return the object and save the object into the variable that you declare of this type account. And then you're simply using the delete. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you want to do some delete operations, you need to have some objects saved. You need to have the object, only then you can use the delete. Okay.
But we are not creating this object, right?
No, we are not creating this object. This select will fetch, right? Why do we need to create it? This select is bringing the records or the objects that is already available in this database.
Yeah, now I got it.
The insert will be like this one. Like here we are just doing the update. Here we are just doing the insert, bulk insert. Or even if you want to do the simple insert, you are doing it in the account equal to new account, then insert account object. This is the new account object you will create, and then you're putting the value here. Right?
Yeah.
Here, you are not creating anything because you don't have the value to create. You are getting the data, and then you're putting it in the variable. Like, hey, object. I have an object. What do we do with the object? Delete this object. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
If you want to update this object, you can even do. Still, you can update this object like like this. Dot name equal to, you can tell whatever you want to do, whatever you want to append it, and then you can do the insert or update, whatever you can do, because basically you have an object already.
Okay.
This is exactly what we saw here. When we're seeing the update, this is exactly what we saw here. This is we are updating it, right? So you see here, I had the list, I am iterating the list, and then I'm putting it in the object, and then in the object department I'm changing the values, and then I am updating the entire list. Okay, basically the concept is simple, Sai. You have the object. Once you have the object, you can do whatever you want to update with the field. Okay, like for example, if I copy paste this one, how do I modify this here? This is going to be an array object, right? So you have to have it here like this for account delete. This is going to be the account, right? Going to be the account, and we are going to iterate the account delete. Okay, this is an array object. Okay, then you are going to tell like name. You can just whatever you want to do. Now do you understand? Like, this is an array object. I am iterating the array. That's all. And then I'm getting the individual object. You can do whatever individual object, and you can do all the operations that whatever you want. Okay. Make sense?
Yes.
Now we are not doing any insert or anything, any update or anything. We are going to delete. In order to delete, you need to have somebody. Same thing. If you see here, to update, you need to deal with object to update. You need to have a list of objects that you are going to update. That is why as soon as I inserted, I used the same list. I did not write the SQL query, because at this point of time, you do not know how to write the SQL query or what is SOQL. We do not know that concept. Now you know, you can easily write the query to get the data. Here I had new list, insert list. This is list. I already have the data. I iterated this itself. Instead of this inserting, we are not doing the insert here. In this piece, we are replacing with the query, because this is already available in the database. This is also already available in the database, because we are creating, and then I'm just doing this insert. This will get into the database. Instead of writing this insert or anything like that, I'm just directly getting it from the database using the query now. Now you know how to write the query. That's the difference. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
I'm going faster.
Okay.
No, I'm asking you a question. Are you able to understand, or am I going faster?
No.
Okay. Okay. So surely they will, because think about it. Salesforce is all about data. When you are a developer, either you will insert the data, or you will update the data, or you will delete the data, or you will upsert. Meaning we'll talk about it. What is upsert? Okay, these are the only things you'll be doing. It's all about the data. The data will be coming it from external source, or the data you can get it from the form, wherever the data comes in. At the end of the day, you're going to store it, or you're going to retrieve the data. That's all. What are you going to do with the data? That's all the Salesforce is, right? And once that's the developer mainly. And you will develop some forms, or you will develop some components. Okay. Those are the part of the developers. But as part of the admin, we saw sales process, report generations, and dashboards and all these things you can do. Okay. So mainly the developers will write this kind of you need to know these concepts to write the Apex coding. All right. Now here is where the delete. Okay. Now let's save this. Okay. So now it's going to be as usual, because I don't want you to write I don't want to write everything in the in this window. This is just the testing window, right? I want to write how we can use it in the Apex class. This is not really, we can even write the Apex class, but this is not the one that we are going to execute, right? So this is the real class that we are writing. Okay. So it's the same thing here. What we do, we go to the DML class, and then I can even put it like class object, whatever. Put a new DML class, and then same thing, class object dot, I can write this delete account. Okay. I can even say like account is deleted, whatever. Okay. So now let's save this class, and I'm going to execute this class. Okay. Static method cannot be referenced from non-static context with the DML delete account. Okay. Class object dot. Okay. So
You're using static.
yeah. I'll tell you. I still need to teach you what is static. I'll talk to you about the static. Okay. Because this is not static, I'm calling it from here, so it cannot call. I'll teach you about static in the next class, so as we progress further, because those are the little bit advanced. So I go here, go to the debug only, see the account is deleted. Okay, now I'm going to execute this query and see we had only one record, right? So now you execute. It is still bringing. Okay, let's see if it is cached or what happened. Let's see. So we are calling this name equal to Toys R Us. Okay. All right. So class, and it's calling the delete account, and this is what we are doing. Okay. And I am doing the delete account delete. Okay. Okay. So what is that object that we are putting here? We are placing it in the object called account, and we're getting it from the account, right? So let me do one thing here and to verify this. Okay, I'm just putting this as a anonymous window outside. This is exactly that we're trying to do here. We are going to create an account, and then this is an account delete, and then we are using the delete statement. Okay, let's see what happens here. The name equal to Toys R Us. I'm executing this code. I'm still able to see it, right? Technically, it should not come. That's what the logic is, correct?
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on here. Name equal to select ID, name, fax descriptions. Okay, from account. It's bringing one, and then so let's go here to the accounts, all accounts. You see the Toys R Us. There are no Toys R Us, right? You don't see it here, correct? Toys R Us. So basically what is happening is the code worked initially, whatever we had. The only thing is that it is getting it from the cache, like, you know, we did not refresh this one. The screen is keep giving it from the query editor cache. Okay. So we did not refresh. Oh my God. Oh man. See here, I have to refresh the grid. I did not do that. Do you understand now?
Yeah, got it.
It's
So
good. It's good, at least, like, you know, we are not copying and pasting, or not, I'm not showing the PowerPoint presentation. It's good that we are doing all these exercises. This is kind of training you need, right? Like, what is the mistake we are doing and why are this happening and all. Like, I was wondering that why is it happening to debug. So okay, so basically I need to refresh the grid to see, because, you know, the grid is cached. Okay.
And Karthik, I have a question. Like, here we have delete row in query grid. Can we delete it from here?
Yeah. Yeah, you can even delete it from here. But remember, the reason is these are the little pieces that I'm putting it in the Apex. If you look at the bigger picture, okay, you'll be writing a logic in the Apex class. If this account is older than 256 days, we don't want it in the system.
Okay.
Or if the account does not have any opportunity associated with it, then you go and delete it. We'll be talking about it, like how to pull the related resources through the Apex program. This is the basic query. We'll be writing, like, you know, how you can get it from the related list. We are not pulling the related list, right? If the opportunity is not there, then how can we delete it? So those kind of things you have to write it in your Apex language, right?
Yeah.
So your Apex language code will flow with some logic. Like, first it will come to your code flow. You'll have some logic, and if that logic is not applicable, then you delete it. Like, based on the condition. If it is if this account is having, like, you know, idle more than 6 months, and there's no update to the account, you need to delete it. If not, you don't delete it, or, like, you know, if not, you're not going to delete it. Otherwise, if the account is more than 256, send a notification to the creator asking that, you know, why is it still idle, can we go and delete it. If that guy responds to that email saying that, create a case to them. Okay, create a case is another object, or create a task for them to verify. If the task is updated, then you automatically go and delete it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are, like, so many automations get involved with the Apex. Okay, like, for example, go here, let's take a calls. Okay, KOHLS, right? I go here, and where is our class? This one. Okay, I can make calls. Yeah, there is one calls, right? So I'm writing here, for example, if you see here, I'm going to delete this all, guys. I'm going to delete it. These are all the logs. So through the class, right? We are going to do it with this. Okay, so this is what we are doing it, right? Through the method. Now we create a class and then we are going to delete it. Okay. So delete. Okay. It gets executed. Now if I go and execute the query, I have to refresh the grid. So it's gone.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's working. It was working before. I did not refresh the grid. It was coming from the cache.
Okay.
Do you understand now? Today we learned what is SOQL, how it can be embedded into the Apex. This one. What is SOQL query editor, how to execute the query, and how it can be utilized. So these are the things that we learned today. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So do some hands-on. Okay. I will share this recording to you right away. And
just recording that.
oh, this one you didn't send it?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll do it both. I'll do it both right away. And we'll meet on Sunday. Okay. And then we'll do the DML of upsert and merge. Those are two important concepts. Okay.
Yeah.
Upsert and merge, and then we'll progress towards the triggers and how to get the related records and all those things. Okay.
Okay.
You just do some hands-on to make sure that you get the grip on the code. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I'm teaching you in more plain and very clear way. Correct? Like
Yes.
with the examples, the real-time examples. Okay. I don't want to confuse too many things at one time, so that's why I'm just saying you because you're not from the coding background. I want to make sure that you do the coding and then you get the confident. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, man. Yeah, let's meet on Sunday. Bye.